Hey guys, welcome back to this week's segment of YouTube videos from my bathroom. As you know, today will be a little different. We will be doing a Q&A today. Yay! I will be answering all of your questions. I got them all right here, ready to go. I got my cup of drink in a cute cup. I've got my comfy chair, and I'm ready to answer your questions. So, let's just get down to it. All right, ready to answer your questions. Got them all right here. So, David from New York said, "What made you start this path, and what's your inspiration to keep going?" What made me start and want to do music? Well, I have been singing since I was 3 years old. Like, my mom said that I legit came out of the womb singing, and when I was in high school, I thought about like a lot of other things that I wanted to do. I was like, oh, maybe I might want to be an obstetrician because I like babies, or maybe I want to be an actor, or maybe I want to do this, and maybe I want to do that. All the while, I, had this fire in me to want to do music, and I had this voice that everyone was like, oh my God, your voice is so beautiful, and this and that, and I would be like, yeah, but there's nowhere to go. when you're like singing, there's nowhere to go, but you know but after a while I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it, and I'm not gonna let anybody tell me, oh, there's no career in it, or oh, you won't make any money and this and that, when to me it's not about making money. To me it's about being happy, doing what I love, and music is what I love. And honestly, I feel like music is my healing. I feel like my voice is my healing, and that's the thing that gets me through anything that I'm going through. Like, all I have to do is open my mouth and sing, and I'll feel better, or I won't be mad anymore, I won't be sad, or anything like that. It's like, I don't know, music is just everything. It's everything. Is that serious? Sorry, I just like cracked my neck. It was the weirdest thing. Oh, yeah. But music is, and my inspiration to keep going is the fact that it's that one thing that makes me happy. And I would like to share that with the world, and hopefully it makes you guys happy. Next question. It's from Joseph in Miami. Who are some of your biggest influences as an artist? Biggest influences. I think everyone gives like the same answers of, oh, it's Michael Jackson, or it's Beyonce, and this and that, and those people did set a standard for music. However, I feel like I don't, like, I have people that have influenced my career. It's not your generic people though. It's like Demi Lovato, who I feel like she's such an inspiration for girls because she's gone through so much and she's still come out on the other side, and is still making music, and is still allowing people to hear her voice. And I feel like that's something that's really important, and she's the biggest influence as far as anything is concerned. With me, she's it. She's one of the top people. Of course, I could go around saying, oh, Michael Jackson and Aaliyah and Destiny's Child and all that stuff, but I feel like she went through it, and she came out on the other side, and it was great. My cold drink. Alright. Okay, so Christina from Miami asked, what is it about R&B, about the R&B genre and style, that draws your attention? I don't know. It sounds like that's where my voice is headed. My entire family, we all sing, and my brother, he does R&B. My sister, it's like our voices kind of lead us to that R&B, gospel-y. Like, I can't go into doing like folk or like, I'm already doing pop, so I guess that's different from R&B, but I'm doing both. So I feel like my voice is what allows me to go into it. Plus the words, man. The words of an R&B song, the lyrics, bro. The lyrics are just like, how'd you get that to, how'd you, to me, the lyrics of an R&B song goes down into the depths of your soul and pulls out your exact emotion of what you're feeling. So that's, I guess, what attracted me to singing R&B. She also asks, how has music made a difference in your life? Kind of just like the first question. Music music is my healing. Like I said before, it's my everything. It's that one thing that understands me more than I understand myself. I don't know, I'm giving music like its own like personification, but to me music just, I feel like I wouldn't be here if I wasn't able to sing, or if I wasn't able to have music in my life. Like, a lot of people can say, oh, music has saved me, but I really feel like music has saved my life, or it's changed it for the better. I don't know. And for all you other musicians out there, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm feeling. Music is very important. Even for those of you who aren't musicians, you're just like, yeah, music is important. Not everyone feels that way, but music is that one thing that can go to the depths of your soul without asking you permission. It's that one thing that can go and change your emotion and make you feel good when you're having a crappy day. So, Roger in Miami asks, what's your favorite style of music to perform, and whom was your first musical inspiration? My favorite style of music is of course pop, pop R&B. Just mainly because it's so fun, and there's a lot of things that you can say as far as like songwriting or what you want to put out there in the world. There's so much that you can say and so many things that you can reference it to. So I would say that's why I love pop. I love doing pop, and it's fun, and you can dance around and be weird, and no one's gonna be like, oh, you're weird, so I'm not gonna stand by you. When you're a musician, you're weird, and that's just kind of who you are, and no one can say anything to you. You can go like Lorde, like, who dances in these concerts. She does the weirdest dances, you guys, and you can't tell her nothing because she's a musician and she's weird and she's gonna do her own thing. So, and who was my first musical inspiration? Honestly, I had so many that it's kind of hard to pinpoint one. But maybe it was like Boys to Men. Yeah, it was Boys to Men, because Boys to Men, with their harmonies, that's what made me want to, I think, pursue music. Like, that was my first inspiration. Boys to Men, 112, with that one song Cupid. And I remember I would sit in my room and just be like to that one song and be like, yeah, I'm gonna learn the words to this song. I love this song. But mainly, like, with Boyz II Men, the harmonies, for sure. The harmonies and what they would say in their songs, or what they would say in their music. So, yeah. Andres in Miami said, okay, what's your music about? Apparently, you haven't gone and listened to my EP. Shame on me. Alright. I'm just joking. So my music is about love, and it's about loss and starting over and being strong enough to start over, being strong enough to get off your feet. Because it's one thing to get hurt, but it's another thing to, like, love again after you've gotten hurt. It's another thing to get back up and be like, all right, well, I'm gonna live my life and I'm gonna be strong and I'm gonna do what I have to do. So I think that, I know that my music is definitely about being strong. Hence the EP title, Strong. Yeah. You guys hear that music in the back? That's my EP. Go and buy it on CD Baby. So, Myson in Miami wants to know, When starting out, did you expect to get this far? And how has it changed your life? Um, when starting out, I did not expect to get this far. Granted, I honestly feel like I haven't even made it yet. Like, I feel like I have two toes, like in the doorstop of the door, not even like out the door. I don't even have one foot out the door. I never thought that I would have an EP out on CD Baby and SoundCloud. I never thought that I would be talking to music labels and music managers daily. I never thought that I would be hiring a PR company. I never thought that I would be doing any of these things, but or like going out and performing or anything like that. But these are the things that I'm doing, and I never thought when I was in high school I wanted to do these things. Granted, I'm still not done. Like I haven't even started yet. And my biggest dream right now, I want to go on tour so bad. But I want to go on my own tour, like not someone else's tour where I'm like headlining or anything. I want it to be AJ, big in lights, and like millions of people in a stadium singing to my songs. I haven't gotten there, but I feel like I'm starting out, and I like where it's headed right now, and I like where I'm going. But no, when I was younger, I never thought that I would be where I am or where I'm going, or I never thought that I would start on this path. So, by the way, I'm so sorry for my voice. It sounds like hoarse and terrible, which is like good because I'm talking instead of singing. I'm trying to save my voice, which is a good thing. I planned the Q&A for this week, so I don't have to sing a cover. Sorry, guys. But I have a wedding to sing at on Friday, and then I'm headlining in an event on Saturday. So I really gotta save my voice. All right. So Atlas Music Group in Miami asked me, "Are you signed to anyone? And what is next for you?" AMG, you guys are so funny because you guys know that you're like the label that I'm working with. However, I am not signed to anyone yet. I am an unsigned indie artist, and what's next for me is to get signed to a major label and start getting my career where I want it to go. Like I already have music out there, but let's say start building more of an internet presence, more of a fan presence, and to be able to go on tour and do all the things that I want to do. So that's what's next for me. Yeah, so I really hope to keep going on the path that I'm on and to go higher in levels. I feel like there are different levels, rather not only in life but like in everything, especially in music. You start out at one level, and there's the only way to go is up. You can't go down. Like if you go like on a downward spiral, you'll never get back up. So I feel like what's next for me is just to keep moving, to keep going in the way that I'm going, and hopefully you guys will be buying tickets to one of my tours. So another question you guys asked was, what is your all-time favorite musical? Oh my gosh. My favorite musical of all time is Les Mis. Like, oh my gosh. I dreamed a dream in time gone by. Bro, Les Mis. On my own, pretending he's beside me. We performed, I graduated from Miami-Dade College like 3 weeks ago. And a couple of semesters we did Les Mis, like the highlights of the musical. And granted, I didn't get a lead part, but there are no small parts, only small actors. Or there are no small, whatever. And I loved it. I was one of the people, and I didn't care. And it was the most amazing experience of my life to even be a part of Les Mis. Like, Les Mis, hands down. Next question is, do you ever consider doing something other than music? If yes, what is it? Okay, so if I weren't doing music, and even if I was, I don't know, if I weren't doing music, I started out screenwriting. So I was like writing plays for my church and things like that, and I feel like this dream will never die because I'll eventually end up doing it, but I want to be a director. Like, non-music related. Director, hands down. Actress. I'm already like... By the way, this movie called Alvin and the Chipmunks 4 will be out maybe next year, and you will see me in the background. But yeah, I've already done a couple acting gigs, and like I've been doing like extra work for like that movie Alvin and the Chipmunks. I've been doing extra work for Graceland, The Glades, stuff like that. So if you watch Burn Notice, if you watch those shows, just pay attention to the background because you may see me, walking back and forth 4 or 5 times. You never know. But yeah, definitely directing. Directing is one of those things that I really love to do, and writing plays and stuff like that. So I would love to act, direct, and write my own like indie film or something like that. So there's that. Do you ever consider doing something other than... Nope, I asked that question. Including voice, how many instruments do you play? Voice. Also, I am a novice at playing piano, and I really want to perfect guitar. Like, I know like a couple chords and this and that, but I'm not where I want to be when it comes to like playing guitar. So piano, guitar. Do you have any other instruments you hope to play one day? Yeah, I just said. Do you ever plan on expanding into other genres of music? Definitely. Definitely. I am friends with this band, this alternative rock band called No Traffic. And yesterday I was up writing a song, and I'm like, this is not a pop R&B song. What the heck? This is a rock song. Why am I writing a rock song right now? So I called the lead singer of No Traffic, and I was like, hey, I wrote a rock song. Do you guys want it? And maybe I could like collab with you guys. So definitely other genres like rock and country. And by the way, I grew up listening to country music. It's my dad's fault. He's a musician, so we grew up listening to all kinds of music. So definitely other kinds. What artist would you most like to record a duet with? Ed Sheeran. Hands down. Ed Sheeran is amazing. He's amazing. And I would love to do a duet with him. So, you guys can vouch for me. Go on Ed Sheeran's page and be like, hey, you should do a duet with AJ. And you guys just bombard him until that happens, because that needs to happen. So, do you plan on expanding your music onto Spotify in the near future? Oh, definitely. I plan to be on Spotify, iTunes, everything. RDO, Radio Disney, whatever. I want the entire world to hear my message and what I have to say. How old were you when you personally accepted Jesus? Good question. I was 14. Granted, I grew up in a Christian family, and my entire family, we grew up in church. But it's like, there comes a point in your life where you have to decide what you want, and there comes a point in your life where your parents can't make a decision for you. Your parents can't be like, oh, you're gonna be, Christian and this and that. They can, like when you're younger, but there's a point where you're like, okay, how am I gonna live my life? What do I want to, do? And I I praise God that I decided to accept him when I was 14, and that was the exact year that I got baptized as well. And it was the greatest experience of my life, and I felt new. Like if you've ever been baptized or you accepted Christ in your life, you feel like you can take on the world because you know that you don't have to worry about anything. The Bible says, that who of you can add an hour to your life by worrying? So you feel like you're a new person. You feel like you can take on anything because you know that you have Jesus by your side. So, or in front of you. Sorry. um, I was 14 when I accepted him, and I went to the altar, and then I started taking classes for baptism. And I got baptized, and I got baptized with my sister, so that was great. Um, what dating advice from experience do you have to give to other ladies out there? Hmm. I would say that's a good question. I would say if you're between the ages of, first off, if you're 14 and under, you don't need to be dating. Let's just put that out there now. Not even. If you're like 16 and under, you don't need to be dating. With that being said, high school kids or whatever, high school to college, I feel like you should worry about yourself, because those are the times that you get to be selfish. Because in a marriage, I've experienced marriages in my life, like from family members. I'm not married, but like from family members who are married and who have taken that step. I've seen that it's a huge thing. It's not just politics or like what people think it is nowadays, where you're just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get marriage is hard work. Marriage is very hard work, and being in a relationship even before getting married, because that's where the goal is for you to get married. So being in a relationship is hard work as it is, and I feel like high school and college people, that's your time to be selfish. As women, as young ladies, that's your time, because when you're in a marriage, you're not selfish. You can't be selfish. You have to worry about everything. You have to take care of everything. You have to take care of your husband. You have to take care of your kids. You have to make sure there's food. You have to wake up early to pray. You have to, there's a different lifestyle lived. And when you're in high school and college, I feel like that's your time. If you want to do foolish new things, do foolish things. If you want to like do music, do music. You don't have to have your mind made up just yet. I feel like take your time. You know, heartbreak happens. If you've ever listened to any of my songs, heartbreak happens, and just move on. Try to stay strong from it, and remember that the first thing that comes is you have to take care of you. You have to take care of you. That's what's important. And as young women, we forget that, because I feel like we're so busy taking care of other things and taking care of everyone else that we don't stop to remember, hey, I need to be taken care of too. So when you're young, this is the time you get to be dumb. And if you're gonna date, then that's your business and between you and God. But I would say, like, take your time. Take your time and be selfish and do the things you want to do, because when that time comes for you to be in a serious relationship, and that time comes that you're married and you're having kids and things like that, everything changes and you don't get to be selfish anymore. So, next question is, any advice to guys from a woman's perspective? Why would you ask me that question? Advice to guys. I would say the same thing. But be good. I don't know. be who you are, because some of you guys are like, oh, girls only like the bad boys and this and that, and that's not true. the thing is that we see the best in you, whether you see it in yourself. You probably don't see it in yourself. We see it for you, and that's why a lot of those girls get involved with that kind of guy, because it's like, oh, he was, he was different before, and he was amazing, and he was sweet, and all of this, and then stuff hits the fan, and he's yelling at you or hitting you or whatever the case may be, and you're like, oh, well, I didn't know at the time that he was like that. Because that's how it is. It starts off one way, you think it's amazing, and he's so, he's saved, and he's this and he's that, and then he flips a 360 on you, and you don't know, what to do. So as far as the guys, girls want a good guy. So dating advice for you: be a good guy. Like, treat her right. Every day that you see her, act like it's the first time you've seen her. Don't act like to you it should be like every day is a new day, because tomorrow is not promised. Even the Bible says tomorrow is not promised. So for guys, I would just say be a good guy, be sweet, because when you like the girl, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be sweet and amazing and all that stuff. So just know that good guys don't finish last. Just, don't be like, oh, I'm gonna change, I'm gonna turn into a bad boy so girls will like me. No, just be yourself, and you'll get a woman that is going to appreciate you and love you for who you are. So aside from that, yeah, that's the only thing I have to say for guys. Let's see what else is on here. What was the best year of your life and your worst? We're like getting like very personal. Good job, guys. So the best year of my life was this year, actually. When my EP dropped and I finished it. I feel like it was the entire time of the EP. It was like when I got that internship. So it was between the last year and this year. So a school year, to be exact. So fall of last year, spring of this year. And it's like, I started working at Critical Recording Studio. And I went to them and I was like, how much would it be for me to record a demo EP? And they were like, oh, since you work here, we'll give you a good discount. So if you guys want to record, I still work there, I could give you a good discount. Just putting that out there for the musicians everywhere. And they were like, oh yeah, we'll work with you. And I started. And the best day of my life was when I first heard You Make Me Love You. And it was like, my musicians were in the room with me. Everyone was in the studio with me. And it was finally mixed. And she played it back for me, and I started crying. I legit started bawling. I was like, oh my God, it's like you put it in your head. You hear it one way. When you're writing the song, you hear the drums, you hear the guitar, you hear the piano, you hear what you want it to sound like. And when she played it back, and it finally sounded that way. I'm sorry, I'm getting all emotional, but it was like what my dreams, I was watching my dream come to life. And that was the best day of my life. And I started crying, and my piano player Deverett was like, oh my God, are you crying right now? And he had to hug me, and he was like, oh, it's gonna be okay, but it was like a dream come true. And I'll never forget that experience. It was the most amazing day of my life. And the worst day of my life, I have a lot of worst days of my life. As a musician, I guess I'm better at vocalizing it than most people, but I can turn the worst day of my life into like a song, like Time Machine or something like that. But the worst day of my life, I would say, a lot of times were when I was like in the hospital. But of course, being saved, being Christian, you have to believe God turns that around for the better. And I'm like very sickly. I get sick for pretty much anything, and I generally, get sick and where it's like really bad, and I go to the hospital type of thing. And so I would say maybe the worst one was when I had to call the ambulance because I couldn't move. And I was born with a disease, so I couldn't move, and I was calling the ambulance, and they came, and a friend of mine ended up at my house or whatever, and the ambulance had to wheelchair me or carry me out and take me to the hospital, and my friend was just there, just crying. And I was like, it's okay, I'm gonna be okay. Like, I turned around and I was like, I'm okay, it's okay. But yeah, no, it's like when I see how people react when I'm sick, I hate that. And I hate being in the hospital. I hate being sick. But those, I would say, are like the worst days of my life. But then again, everything turns out for God's glory, and I ended up some days I end up like meeting a new roommate. And granted, I had pneumonia, what was it, last year for like a month. I was in the hospital for a month, and I ended up making a bunch of new friends, and I ended up ministering to some people, and you know, everything is a part of God's will. And I feel like if I wasn't born with this disease, I feel like I wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be doing music. I wouldn't be the compassionate person that I am now. I think I am. I hope I am. But yeah, I think that without the worst days or the bad days, I wouldn't be who I am. So alright. Okay. Favorite vacation destination? Paris. Paris, France. Now, mind you, I have been to Paris, France. I'm pretty sure I put up a picture, or I will show you guys a picture. But I have been to Paris, France, and it was amazing. It was amazing, and I got to stand in front of the Eiffel Tower, and me and my sister were like going crazy, jumping up and down, like acting like completely foolish. It was so amazing. Who's calling me while I'm in the middle of a Q&A? You guys. Alright. So yeah, Paris, France was amazing. I want to travel around the entire world though. On tour. Like, I feel like that's the only time I'll get to do that. I want to go to Spain. I want to go to Italy. I want to go back to Paris. I want to travel Europe, and I want to travel the Netherlands. I want to go to Amsterdam. I want to go to Canada. I want to go everywhere, bro. The only places I've been is Paris. I've been to New York a lot because I have a lot of family there. And I've been to Maryland. I've been to Georgia. Yeah. Anywhere else? Yeah, I think that's it. So, one thing you can't live without: Jesus. So, to be like quite frank with you, Jesus. And maybe my cell phone. If not my cell phone, if we're talking about wardrobe, then it'll probably be my Steve Madden boots. I wear those everywhere. And my mom was just like, you need to throw those away. And I'm like, no, but they're still good. They're leather. They're still good. Alright. So, if you could be any musical instrument, what would you be and why? If I could be any musical instrument, I think I would be a violin. I am in love with string instruments, and if not a violin, a cello, because they're in the same family and they would go hand in hand. Why? Because one, they're portable, you can take them anywhere. Two, they sound amazing in a song. If you guys haven't gone on my YouTube channel, go and watch To Build a Home with Patrick and Deverett. And I had Dev was on piano and Pat was on cello. It was it was so beautiful. And I actually wrote my sister's wedding song with cello in it. So it was like, and we came together and we rehearsed it. We all started crying in the room. Violin and cello are those instruments that spark emotion the most, I feel. And I feel like they make you cry when you're not even like about to cry. Like you're just listening to the song in the car, and then 2 seconds later you're just like I don't even know why I'm crying. It's just that's what violin does to you. Violin and cello, like seriously, I would want to be those instruments. What is your favorite flavor of ice cream, and what is your philosophical perspective of its meaning in life? What? What, you guys? Okay, cut this down. My favorite flavor of ice cream is vanilla. Cake too, vanilla. Everything vanilla. What do I think it means to like vanilla ice cream? I think that it means that I'm classic, and I like classic things, just like this thing of flowers on my head with my shirt that says, "Want to talk about it? It's not your business." Classic. Next question. What one place, real or fiction, do you most want to live in? One place that I want to live in. Let me fix the camera really quickly. Sorry, guys. Where would I want to live? Narnia. If we're talking about fiction, if not Hogwarts, then Narnia. Like, so many of you can relate. That's like, real, I would say California, which is where I'm gonna move anyway. Like when my music picks up, California. Favorite Disney princess and why? Or prince? Okay, if any of you like know me for a fact, I love Disney. I can't just choose just one. I am in love with Disney. My television is always on Disney Channel. I don't know why, but it's just soothing with the bright colors. I understand what children feel. Like, pay me no mind, but okay, Disney princess. I have so many. I have so many. Okay, let's first off start with Elsa. Granted, she was a little squeamish to begin with, but once she got her powers down packed, it was all uphill from there. Elsa, love you. Frozen, yes. Mulan, how strong you are. Princes. You don't really hear about the princes that much. But if we were choosing a prince, I would pick the one from Aladdin. Like, I think he's like, granted, his name escapes me at the moment. I think it's Abu or something. I don't know. But I love him. And who could forget about Ariel? Me and my friend Malena. We would watch The Little Mermaid. She has like every disc of The Little Mermaid. Every movie of The Little Mermaid that ever came out. Like, whoa. So I love The Little Mermaid. She's the most beautiful princess, I feel like, of all. Like, she's amazing. And what's your favorite? Oh, that's it for the Disney. What's your favorite television show? My favorite TV show is Once Upon a Time. Why? Because it's fairy tale. It's fairy tale. fairy tales that come to life. Once upon a time, I feel like when I'm watching it, I'm not in the room. I feel like that's an escape. Like I jump into the fairy tale land. I'm weird. I'm so sorry. But it's my favorite television show, like, of all time. Once upon a time. Just like how do you bring, Disney characters to life and not expect me to love it? Once upon a time, I was so upset with the season finale. But let's move on to a new question. Okay, so this question is from Megatron Live Miami. Will you do me the honor and collaborate with me on a track? Mega, of course. Of course. Like, of course. Okay, from AMG Miami. Would you consider working with other artists from the AMG camp? I will consider working with every artist from the AMG camp. I realized, I think some of you guys do like a little bit of reggae. Maybe we can mix the reggae with a little bit of pop. Get a new genre going. I don't know. Doug in Miami said, what made you become a singer? The fact that I have been singing my whole life. And I feel like singing is like the air that I breathe. Without it, I wouldn't be breathing. Like, I really do think that's true, because I've been doing it since I was born. And a lot of people say that, oh yeah, I've been doing it and this and that, but it's one thing to say, oh, you've been doing it and not pursue it, but it's another thing to be like, no, this is the air that I breathe. I need to do it. So, Patrick in Miami said, if you could pick any artist to collaborate with, who would it be? Oh yeah, I answered that question already. Okay, so Lewis in Miami asked, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Okay, that's a good question, because honestly, I see myself in 10 years owning a management company, being a CEO of a management company, a music management company, because I not only want to live my dreams, but I want to help other people live their dreams as well and find their dreams. I want to own a recording studio as well, which would go hand in hand with the management company, and maybe a record label. I feel like I want to be like a huge, big business mogul person who's also like performing and on tour and making music, and I feel like in 10 years I will have that accomplished. Like, I'm so driven and headstrong that it's like, all right, I have a plan for 5 years. I have a plan for 2 years. I have a plan for 10 years. I have a plan for 3 months. I had a plan for when my EP would drop, and I followed the exact, timelines. I gave myself a minimum and a maximum. Like, I need to be very structured when it comes to my career, because I don't want to get sidetracked, and I don't want to end up, oh, okay, well, I'll take this job at like this business company or wherever. I don't know. I'm just okay, I'll take this job there and be stuck there because I like it. Like, I worked at my sister's school for a little while. No, sorry. I went with her to volunteer. And her coworkers were like, oh, do you want to be a teacher? You can come and be a substitute teacher, and that would be awesome, and that would be great. And I was just like, nope. Granted, I'm not a fan of small children, but I like them. And I know that if I was to be a substitute teacher, it would turn to an actual teaching position, and then I'll get stuck there. And I don't want anything to hinder my music. I don't want anything to sidetrack me from where I'm going. So, I feel like, yeah, in 10 years, I will be there. I have all the faith in the world to get where I need to be. Kayla in Miami asked, what is your ringtone? Oh my god, okay. I'm gonna play it right now. This ringtone right here. It is... That's a funny question. What is my ringtone? Recently added. Let me search for it. Search. Scratch my nose. Alright. So, the song is Wait by M83. And let me tell you where this song came from. I watched the movie The Fault in Our Stars, and I heard the song. This song played like 3 or 4 times. And I was just like, I need that song in my life. I was just like, I need it and I have to have it. And I'll try to see if I can play the chorus for you guys. Such a girly phone case. And it's so soothing. It's like, all it says is no time. And it's like they have this beautiful harmony too. No time. So when anyone calls me, that's my ringtone. Like it went off in one of the bloopers that day when we were recording To Build a Home. It went off and the director was like, cut! Alright, next question is from Josmir in Miami. She asked, what inspired you to write Time Machine and You Make Me Love You? Great question. So let's break it down a little bit. What inspired me to write You Make Me Love You? I was in a relationship with this guy for a year, and I had fallen for him like hard. I fell for him hard, and I was just like, alright, well, the first Valentine's Day that we were together, he wrote me a song, because he was a musician too. And he wrote me a song, and it was, how did it go? It was like, I will do anything for you, because I know that time will push us through. So whatever. And he wrote that song, and I completely freaked out. And so the next Valentine's Day, I was like, alright, it's a week till Valentine's Day, I should probably write him a song. I was like, okay. I sat down and I was like, alright, I'm not good at expressing myself, but yet I'm a musician. So I was like, alright, I'm going to write him a song, and he's going to love it. And I got my piano player, and I was like, I need to write my boo a song, and you know, it has to be like a ballad type song where he's gonna love it and he's gonna cry, and it's gotta be so beautiful. Like, if you guys have heard You Make Me Love You, it is like a ballad type song. And I sat there, and he was just like, alright, well, go home, put some lyrics together, tell me what you want, and bring it back the next day. I had been stumped on lyrics for 3 days. Mind you, I only had a week. And I was like, oh my god, Valentine's Day is in 2 days. I pretty much wrote You Make Me Love You in 2 days. I sat there, and my piano player was like, okay, what do you want to say to him? I was like, I want to tell him that I love him. Like, you make me love you. He was like, alright, there you go. And I was like, huh, alright. And mind you, I had already written the first verse. And to me, the first verse didn't match with the chorus. And I was like, alright, well, I'll make it fit some way. I'll make it fit. And I remember saying, alright, you make me love you. You also make me want to be with you. But I have this fear of getting hurt. Like, I have a fear of falling. I have a fear of being with you and not being with you. So I wrote all this down, and my whole process for songwriting is this. Like, I would just write random stuff on random pieces of paper. Like, I have a huge notebook, composition book, whatever, and I would write words down of what I think I should say or how, and then I form it into like a song. So I ended up writing my entire feelings to this man about how I felt, and on Valentine's Day I sang it to him in a nice room with a piano, and there were like candles everywhere. I was so romantic with it, and he cried. He cried, and I was so happy. Um, with Time Machine, um, when I wrote Time Machine, I had been like, I have these writer block moments. Like, I get really bad writer's block where I don't write for months, and then I'm like, oh, concept. I'll write on that concept. But when I wrote Time Machine, it was like I had been going through like a breakup, and I had been going through like Time Machine is that one song that's for like if you've ever messed up in like a relationship or a friendship. And mind you, when I wrote Time Machine, I had messed up in a relationship and in a friendship, so it was both. The song was written for the guy that I had, that I was no longer with, and a friend of mine. So it was like two separate entities, two separate situations came together in one song. And I remember writing and erasing and writing and erasing and writing and erasing. And I feel like Time Machine is that one song that you regret. Anything that you've ever regret in like a relationship or a friendship, and you want to take it all back. That's what Time Machine is. That's what I feel like. That's what inspired me to write Time Machine. Like, I was going through it. And if I show you right now my song atlas, like I had chords up here on what I wanted it to say, and if you can see, it's like scratched out, and that day I broke it all, like, so yeah, that's what inspired me to write You Make Me Love You and Time Machine. Yeah, yep. And last couple of questions are, what do you prefer, cats or dogs? I'm a dog person. Like, all the way. I really like dogs. Like, I like cats too. I like animals. But like, I'm not like one of those, oh, go save the animals and hold up signs, and like, I'll contribute to it because I like animals, or like I'll pet a dog in the street, but I'm not like, because my parents never allowed us to have any pets. However, we found ourselves some stray pets. Like, I had a turtle. Like, we had a cat. We called it Cream because it was white. Like, so we made it work. Mind you, I'm the last of like 8 siblings, so we had to find ways to entertain ourselves. Last question of the night is, if you had to go one route in life and one route only, would you choose music or your friends? I kind of don't understand the question. But I would say this: if I had one route to take, I feel like it would be music every time. I love my friends. Let's get that out there now. I love you guys who are my friends. I love you, like, with all of my heart. But you guys aren't the ones that are gonna get me to where I need to be. You guys aren't the ones that are gonna put food on my back and put food in my mouth and clothes on my back and a roof over my head. Like, I love my friends, but if someone asked me, oh, would you take a different path, or would you do it all differently, I wouldn't. Like, everything that I've done and every time that I've messed up, it's been a learning experience, and I've learned from it, and a song came out of it. You can call me Taylor Swift or Adele or whatever, but a song came out of it, and I learned, and I moved on, and I feel like I grow every time, and my music is that thing that allows me to grow. And honestly, I would pick my music every time. I would pick it every time. So, yeah. Alright, guys. So, that's it for the Q&A. I want to thank you guys so much for submitting all of your questions. I loved answering all of them. If you guys want me to do another Q&A, just let me know and I'll put that together for you guys. Feel free to go and check out my music on SoundCloud and buy it on CD Baby. I am also on Noise Trade now, so you can go and book me for gigs. Isn't that cool? So like weddings or whatever, book me. Just book it. So just remember, I'll link everything down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Then I said goodnight.